Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Govind and currently I am working as a data analyst at Ad Analytics. In this video, we are going to look at the overview of calculation groups. Like I will walk you through how we create a calculation groups in Power BI and what are other features it provides. So it is the basic overview of calculation groups. So please be with me till the end of this video. The concept of calculation groups is simple. Like whenever we have most number of measures in our data model, so we can simply reduce the number of measures significantly with the help of calculation groups. If I give you an example, so suppose like I'm working with Power BI and I'm working with three measures: profit and quantity. Let's take sales, and now I have to implement time intelligence calculations for each of the measures, right? YTD, QTD, MTD, MOM, YOY, QOQ. So what will happen? I would end up creating the number of measures in multiple. Like if there is three best measures and six time intelligence calculations I have to create. So how much measure I will create? I will create 18 measures. Yes, 18 measures. So with the help of calculation groups, I can just define a calculation item, and that calculation item I can use across multiple measures, be it a quantity or be it a sales or be it a profit. I can use that calculation item uh, to all the measures in my data model. So this can significantly remove the number of measures required in the data model, and which will ultimately lead to the performance optimization. So this session is just a basic overview I'm going to give you. So let's take some, let's have a look on some practical implementation. Okay, so here I'm working with this Power BI file where I'm having sales order date and one measure table, and I have defined two measures, total sales and total profit. Okay, so to create a calculation groups, first you need to go here in the model view, and if you see here the tables and the model, right? So you have to come here, and after that you will get an option calculation groups. So for creating a calculation groups, you have to select the calculation group. Right here it is selected. Now I will get an option new calculation group. I can create it from here, or I can simply like click on three dots, and then I can define a calculation group from this option as well. So I'm going to create a calculation group. So one thing to remember is that whenever we create a calculation group, so it will discourage implicit measures in the data model. So what do I mean by that? If you know the difference between implicit and explicit measure, so you will understand this particular concept. So implicit measures are what, here if I come in the report view, so the aggregation, I think it has discouraged. Okay, so I will just a minute. Yeah, so it was originally like that. Okay, so what are implicit measures? Implicit measures are this, like the summation options that we get. So whenever we have to like sum or take average or mean, max, standard deviation, those options that we get while working with the numerical column, those are the implicit measures. So here you can see the symbol of this summation is appearing. But when I start creating calculation groups, so it discourage the use of implicit measures in the data model. Right, so this is what it means. So I'm gonna go here and create new calculation group. Okay, So for now, I'm just keeping it as it is. So whenever we create a calculation group, so the thing to remember is that it gets created on the top of the table, right? Like how do we store measures in Power BI? We need some base table to store the measures, right? So similar to that, here we create a calculation items. That's why when we create a calculation group, so a table gets automatically created, right? So here we have to understand the hierarchy. Calculation group, I am having one calculation group. This is the name of the table, and under this is the name of the column. And then I can define a calculation item here. Like I am just having one calculation item as of now, which is a selected measure, right? So here one is appearing, right? Because I am just having one calculation item. If I show you in the data model how the table looks like, so the column name, and then one column ordinal, and the calculation items that you define, it gets appear here. Okay, so now let's talk about okay, so here you can see just a minute. Okay, yeah, if you have to rename a particular calculation group, so you can simply this is a calculation group. I'm renaming it. I can double click from here. I can go and rename it from here as well. And what I can do, I can rename from the properties section as well. So I'm renaming it to time intelligence, because a time intelligence is a classic example of calculation groups. That's why I have renamed it like that. Okay, so this is the calculation group column, right? So you have to rename it to avoid the confusion. So for renaming it, I can rename it from here as well, from three dots and by double clicking. So I'm yeah, so this column I have renamed. Now I have to define a calculation items that I want to apply to this like across my data model. So first it is automatically created. I can rename it to a value, like the whatever value, whatever the selected uh, measure I'm working with, I just want to return that. So I will not use any kind of calculate or filter modifier. I can directly say whatever the selected measure is there, return it as it is. So this is a calculation item. Now I can define several calculation item by right clicking. So one I am doing for YTD. Let's MTD, and for MTD I can use calculate, and the expression is selected measure. Okay, so why I'm using selected measure is that since we are working here with the measures, right? Our goal is to um, like I'm working with the measures, so like profit, quantity, whatever measure I am working with in my Power BI visual, so it returns that. That's why I'm using selected measure. Now I can define a filter. So for MTD, I can use dates MTD function, and under this I can give date table date column. Yeah. So I will also create a calculation items for YTD and QTD. Just copy pasting the things. So this is for the QTD, and I have used here that's QTD function. One more for YTD. Sorry. And here I can use dates YTD function. Right. Okay. So if I see here in my model, so I am having four calculation item, and this time intelligence measure, this column I can start using in my Power BI visuals.
Okay,
So
everyone.
how
So this is all about the calculation groups overview. In the next session, I will tell you how we can use calculation group in Power BI visuals.
we can use
So
that? So for using that, I'm taking this matrix, and from date table, I will choose this month in calendar. So here, just 17 and 18 data is getting visible because I have made a selection here. And let's say I want to work with this total sales, so I will drag this to the values, right? So here in the column section, I can use time intelligence table, this column. So I can start seeing all the values like MTD, QTD, value, and YTD. Now the question is that how to reorder this calculation items, because I want that my value should appear first and then YTD or MTD, QTD, like a particular order. How do we do that? So for doing so, I you need to just select this calculation item. Either you can uh, like select a particular calculation item and you can use this option, which is move up, move down, move to the top, or move to the bottom, or you can simply do it with the interface itself. So value should appear first, I can drag it to the top, and then I want that mtd qtd, I want this logic. So whatever the logic you want to keep, you can drag from here, or you can move, like use these options if you want to like move the calculation items up or down. You do not need to create a separate sorting column for arranging the calculation items. So if I show you, so my values appearing, then MTD, QTD, and YTD. Okay, so why I have used here matrix visual? Because matrix is allowing me to use a column of this column. That's why I have used the matrix visual, and I can easily visualize all the calculation items, right? If I have to visualize more measures, like I'm just working with here total sales, I will take the total profit as well. So for both of the measures, total profit, total sales, I can see all the four calculation items that I have defined: MTD, QTD, and YTD. Right. Now the question is that instead of the matrix, can I visualize this calculation groups items in any other visual format, like the columns or line chart is that? So wherever, like, let me show you. There is an option to accept a column. We can do that. So here I'm selecting this column chart, and the same column I will use month in calendar. And in y-axis, I can just put a total sales, right? Because I cannot use a column in that. And for using calculation groups, or to showing of showing calculation groups, we need a something that accepts column, right? So if I the legend, if you remember, in legend we always drag a column, right? So in legend I can use, if I'm working with I can say column or bar chart. So I will drag the legend here. So this is not a good way. So I will, instead of stacked, I will choose a clustered column chart, and let's turn on the data labels. Right. So this is a way of using it if not in the matrix. So this is how we can show a calculation group, right? If you want to hide something, like you just want to show uh, MTD or YTD only, so you can use this filter pen and directly you can choose it from here. Like I just want to show the YTD. So this is the YTD. I just want to show the QTD. So this is the QTD, right? So this is how you can use calculation group other than the matrix visual.